What's up, guys? It's Coach Grant with First Down Training, and today we're going to be talking about the 5 best quarterback mechanics drills. Okay, so we're going to be talking about everything from your hip rotation, keeping your shoulders back, weight transfer, footwork, foot stride, all the above. So everything is going to tie into quarterbacks throwing mechanics. That's what we're going to be covering today. But also, fellas, if you're a quarterback and you want to get better at the football IQ side of things, you want to be able to read defenses, understand coverages, check out that very first link in the description, fellas, where we have 400 plus reading defenses videos on our website. So we break down what every single coverage is, all the different looks you could see against it, and it's just an hours upon hours of content, all based around football IQ. So very first link in the description, fellas. Hope you guys could check that out. Let's get started with this video. All right, guys, this first drill we're gonna be talking about is a QB walk. So what is a QB walk? So all it's gonna be is gonna be a shuffle up, and you're gonna separate your hips from your shoulders, then a shuffle back on a retreat, and same thing. So what it's working on is just your weight transfer. So this is kind of like that Dak Prescott drill that everybody was talking about a few years ago, but it's with the it's not just a shuffle up, we're also working on a shuffle back to keep your back leg under your frame. So the big thing about throwing mechanics is all about weight transfer, right? So what a lot of quarterbacks will do is they'll stand and their base is too wide. So they'll go to transfer their weight, but their back leg will lock out, and then they're throwing this thing with all arms. They're not transferring any weight, they're not getting any drive from their legs, so that's what this is focusing on. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna have your hands here. When your hips go forward, your shoulders go back. When you transfer weight, it's like you're pushing something back in your hand. You're here. So all it's gonna be is I'm up one, hips, retreat back, and when I retreat back, make sure I land with this underneath my frame, and I got the same thing. The transfer is what gets my front foot down, and I'm just working through, maybe do that about 4 sets up and back, maybe 4 reps per set up and back is considered one. That's a great drill to work on that weight transfer and that hip rotation and separating your upper half from your lower half to help you get more velocity on your throws and give you a much smoother throwing mechanics motion. All right, guys, so this next drill we're gonna be doing is called a straight jacket. So what a straight jacket is to work on pretty much builds off of everything that we just covered with that QB walk. So what it is you're gonna take a hitch, and all you're gonna do is you're gonna transfer your weight to where your front foot gets down. You're gonna transfer your weight through, your hips are gonna rotate, but your arms are gonna be in this straight jacket position like this, like you're tight in a straight jacket. So when you go to throw, the hips bring the shoulders through, because when you guys actually throw a football, the sequence is going to be this. It's going to be front stride, hips go through, then shoulders, and then the ball trails behind so you can get as much torque as possible. It's like a coil. And then when you guys finish, you want to finish nice and square to the target, because that gives that snap to the throw. What a lot of people like to do is they like to swing their front side out of there before their hips. We don't want to do that because I lose torque, and if you guys are swinging your front shoulder open, your body's split down a midline, your arm's going to fly, and you're going to be throwing this thing sidearm. So you want to let your hips be the thing that rotates your upper half. So that's what a straight jacket does. So all you're going to do, I'm going to show you, it's going to look full speed in a second. You're gonna hitch, transfer, and the hips are going to bring the shoulders through. What you don't wanna do is you don't wanna do this. You don't wanna swing your shoulders before your hips. You wanna let your hips bring your shoulders all the way through, okay? So I'm gonna show you, it's gonna look full speed right now. So it's just a straight up hitch and transfer all the way through. What you maybe want to do, maybe go about 4 sets of about 10 yards doing a straight jacket with a hitch before it on every single step. All right, guys, so this next drill is going to be working on your front arm discipline, okay? So what you're gonna need is you're gonna need a smaller football, or what you could do is a weighted baseball, one of the two, okay? But a smaller football is probably a little bit more accessible for a lot of you. So everybody knows when we throw, everybody sees it nowadays, this front hand of quarterbacks, it doesn't swing down, because like we were talking about in the previous clip, your body's split down a midline. So what you don't wanna do is you don't wanna let your front elbow swing down, because when your front elbow swings down, your release gets pushed high and you throw like a pitcher, right? You're either gonna release it in the ground or it's gonna sail over the receiver's head. Or what a lot of guys like to do is they'll swing out, and when they swing out, your arm flies, okay? And that's when you guys go sidearm, and that's when the nose of the ball kind of trails up. So this is a great drill to work on your front hand being nice and disciplined. So you're gonna have this ball. What you're gonna do is you're gonna just do these tiny catches in the letters of the alphabet, okay? So you're gonna be doing tiny catches all the way up, tiny catches all the way down, and you see how that's the letter A, right? And then you want to maybe do the letter B all the way through. And if you drop the ball, it's okay, just pick it up and start right back to where you were, but it works on that stability and control of the front arm. You see why a lot of baseball guys are so good at the quarterback position is because when they throw with that glove, it's like added weight. So when they take that off and they're throwing football, they have a real good job of keeping that front arm nice and tight to their frame. So that's what it's working on. So again, you're gonna be doing it all the way in the A pattern, B pattern, C pattern, but doing these tiny catches just to work on that stability in your shoulder, controlling your front shoulder. So when you go to throw, you're able to just keep it here and keep your release point nice and square. When you keep this hand here, your release point square, we're gonna be more accurate. And then when you guys can finish with your hand right here, it gives you that snappiness and that torque to the throw if you're transferring your weight and rotating through with your hips. All right, guys, so this next drill we're gonna be talking about is with a towel. So what you wanna do is you wanna hold the towel where your middle finger is over the towel and the rest of your hand is underneath the towel. Kind of almost looks like a drawing of a bird, right? So what this emphasizes is your extension of your follow through when you let the ball go, okay? So what a lot of quarterbacks struggle with is they'll go to throw, they'll get their whole body into it, and then they short arm it, right? And they push this thing back and they fall back and that ball takes off on them. It usually shoots high, right? You wanna make sure that when you release, your finish is about 6 inches in front of your front stride, okay? So now that's what the towel works on. So if you guys are just short arming it, you're not gonna hear a snap to the towel. But when you guys actually extend, you could hear a snap to the towel, kind of like you're cracking a whip or whatever you wanna think of it, right? So what you wanna do, maybe stand in front of a mirror, your weight's on this back leg, you're letting your body make the throw, and you really focus on extending, keeping this front hand nice and tight to your frame, and let the weight transfer bring the towel through. So again, I'll show you from a side angle. I'm here, transfer, and just make sure that we're extending and finishing out. I don't really care where it finishes. A lot of guys teach this finish. A lot of guys teach opposite pocket. I could care less, just as long as we're extending and finishing out 6 inches in front of my stride. Maybe get about 30 to 40 reps in with this towel before every workout. All right, guys, so this last drill that we're gonna be talking about is to work on your footwork and you being able to catch yourself in a dominant position to where you're able to transfer your weight and get your throwing mechanics through. Notice how these throwing mechanics drills have nothing to do with you actually throwing the ball. These are all drills that you could build healthy repetition, healthy habits to take over to when you actually throw with the ball, right? It's about doing the work without the ball to make yourself efficient when you're throwing with the ball. Throwing is all about using your body. It's about using your legs, your hips, your core, not so much your shoulder and your arm. Your arm is just that follow through, just like what we were working with the towel. So this is to work on you guys throwing off of a third step or throwing off of a shuffle. So everybody, like, let's say for example, I got to throw a bang 8 post, right? Or like a seam against a 1 high safety. When I drop back, I'm not going to be dropping back and taking all these hitches. But so many quarterbacks, they'll get to the top of their drop and they'll have their weight like this. Their front foot will have all their weight and they go to throw and they're ahead of themselves, back leg trails behind, don't transfer any weight. They end up pulling their elbow down because they're not rotating from their hips. So this drill is to work on that, because when you get to the top of a third step on a 3-step drop, you want to be light on your front foot, heavy on your back foot, it's under your frame so you can transfer that weight to get that snap of your hips, okay? So that's what this drill is focusing on. So you're going to be here, you're going to be on your left foot. All you're going to do, somebody's going to clap, you're going to go back and catch yourself on the right foot. Now if you're too wide with your back foot, notice how you have to come down with your front foot. So that's how you know, hey, maybe I got to correct that. So what this drill will transfer over to is maybe when we're throwing, we're playing catch, and you guys are working a crossover, you're used to landing underneath your frame and kind of catching yourself so you could transfer. So again, you're just lined up on the left foot, here, and you go back, here, and try to stick it for a second. Don't just land and then go straight back like this. That's not doing anybody any good. Try to stick it, land, to work on you absorbing that force at the top of your drop so you could transfer your weight effectively and get that weight to your front leg so your front hip can shoot through on this throw. All right, guys, I really want to thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. I hope this video gave you guys some value. I hope you learned a couple new things just about quarterback mechanics and how you guys can improve your overall game. If you have any questions at all, don't hesitate to leave those in the comments below. I'll get back to you as soon as I possibly can. And again, fellas, if you want to get better at reading coverages, you want to learn how to read defenses and want over 400 plus videos on how to do that, where we upload 3 new videos every single week on breaking down how to improve your football IQ for quarterbacks specifically, check out that very first link in the description, fellas. Learn how to read defenses and break down coverages. I'll see you guys next time.